Title: I accidentally sent my boss a spicy photo instead of my weekly report. Now he wants a one-on-one meeting. Part 1/3. Okay. Deep breaths. I can't believe I'm actually typing this. Like, how do you even begin to explain something like this without sounding like a complete idiot? But here we are. Welcome to the train wreck. For context, I, 27F, work as a marketing analyst for a mid-sized tech company. Think chill startup vibes with too many Slack channels and an overstocked fridge full of LaCroix. My boss, let's call him Nathan, 40s. Tall. Mysterious. A little too composed for this circus, is the head of our department. He's the kind of guy who always looks like he knows a secret. You know the type. Anyway, every Friday, we send in our weekly wrap UPS, status reports, KPIs, progress updates, etc. It's routine. Boring. Mechanical. Usually, I just drag and drop the file into an email and hit send while sipping my 5th cold brew. But this Friday, oh man. This Friday, I outdid myself. Let me set the scene. Thursday night, wine was involved. My best friend Jess had just broken up with her situationship, and we decided to do our usual, sad girl wine and spa night. So there I was, tipsy, in a fluffy robe, doing sheet masks and snapping silly pictures. One thing led to another, and somehow I ended up taking a photo. A spicy photo. Tasteful, nothing wild, but still, definitely NSFW. I sent it to my on-again, off-again thing, Tyler, with a cheeky, thinking of you, winky face, text. So how did that picture end up in Nathan's inbox? Excellent question. Fast forward to Friday morning. Hungover. Late. Laptop on 2%. I was frantically trying to compile my weekly report while shoveling oatmeal into my mouth. I opened my email, attached what I thought was the PDF of my wrap-up, hit send, and rushed out the door. Except, I didn't attach the PDF. I attached the photo. The spicy photo. Yeah. I didn't realize it until hours later. It hit me during a Zoom call when Nathan said, and I quote, "I received your report. We'll talk more in our one-on-one next week." He looked right into the camera. I swear I saw the corners of his mouth twitch. My soul left my body. I think I blacked out. I don't even remember what happened for the rest of that meeting. After the call, I checked the sent email. There it was. No attachment labeled wrap-up_August02.pdf. Just, img_6723.jpg. I screamed. I actually screamed. Jess came running into the room thinking I'd been stabbed. Cue 48 hours of existential horror. Should I email him to explain? Would that make it worse? Pretend it didn't happen? Resign? Move to Finland? Change my name? I ended up doing nothing. Because I'm a coward. Now here we are. Monday morning. Nathan just slacked me. Hey, can you come by my office at 3? Want to touch base on your report. What report, Nathan? The one with my boob in it? 12:45 p.m. I'm writing this from the office bathroom, locked in a stall, pretending I have period cramps so no one asks why I look like I've seen the ghost of every bad decision I've ever made. I've reread the Slack message at least 50 times. It's so casual. So neutral. It's either the calm before the storm or he's trying to downplay it to make me feel safe before he lowers the boom. I swear, if I get fired over a boob. Also, is it bad that part of me is now hyper-aware of how good I looked in that photo? I mean, I wasn't going for a performance review vibe, but if I were, I'd be getting a damn raise. Anyway. 3 p.m. is approaching fast. I'm going to try to walk in there like I don't want to melt into the floor. Wish me luck. 3:27 p.m. Okay. What just happened? So. I walk into Nathan's office like I'm heading into war. He's at his desk, super chill, borderline unreadable, like always. He motions for me to sit. So, about your report. He lets the sentence hang in the air like a noose. My brain is screaming. I try to speak. I don't even know what I'm saying. Some mix of apology, explanation, desperate attempt at professionalism, probably a little wheezing. He listens. Nods. Doesn't interrupt. Then. He says. I assume that wasn't meant for me. And smiles. Like a real smile. Me, oh God no. I mean, I'm so sorry. I was in a rush and I thought I was attaching my weekly wrap-up and mistakes happen. He leans back in his chair like he's amused. Not creepy. Not judgy. Just, entertained. Curious. It certainly made my Friday more memorable. I wanted to die. But also? I couldn't tell if he was flirting or just trying to defuse the nuclear bomb of awkwardness. Then he says, "Look, I'm not going to pretend that wasn't a surprise. But I'm not offended. These things happen." These things happen? What things, Nathan? However, since we're here, and clearly comfortable with openness, maybe you could tell me a bit more about what you're hoping to achieve in this role. What? So I stammer through some half-coherent answer about career goals and marketing analytics and future leadership, and he actually listens. And then, and I still can't believe this, he says. Good. Let's schedule more regular one-on-ones. I think there's potential here that deserves more attention. Then he stands, opens the door, and says, "Thanks for coming in. And next time, maybe label your files." A wink. He winked. I left that office more confused than I've ever been in my life. I don't know if I'm being mentored or seduced or gently fired over the course of several weeks. What is happening? To be continued. Edit. To everyone demanding me about what the photo looked like, y'all are horny. Chill. It was artsy. Soft lighting. Nothing trashy. But also, my boss has seen it and now wants to mentor me? I need a drink. Or several. Part 2 coming soon. This is just getting started. It gets weirder. Believe me. Title: I accidentally sent my boss a spicy photo instead of my weekly report. Now he wants a one-on-one meeting. Part 2/3. If you're new here, please read Part 1. Trust me, it's necessary context. Okay. So after that fever dream of a meeting with Nathan, I was left in a sort of emotional purgatory. Was he flirting? Just being kind? Teasing me as punishment? I had no idea. And naturally, I spent the next few days overanalyzing every micro-expression from the interaction like I was decoding ancient runes. But here's where things get even more twisted. That evening, I'm home, still trying to emotionally process the wink, when I get another Slack message from Nathan. "Hey, just sent you an invite for bi-weekly one-on-ones. Let me know if that schedule works." Bi-weekly. Regular. One-on-ones. This man saw my boob and decided now was the time to increase our face time. I obviously accepted the invite. Because what else do you do when your career and your dignity are balancing on a knife's edge? The first official one-on-one was scheduled for Wednesday morning. Until then, I had 2 full days to stew in my own anxiety soup. Jess, my best friend and emotional support goblin, had a field day with the whole thing. "Jess, so when's the wedding? Should I start planning the bachelorette?" Me, "I hate you." Jess, "Is it hate or are you just jealous I never accidentally flashed a senior executive?" Me, blocked. Anyway, Wednesday arrives. I actually dress up. I don't even mean that in a sexy way, I mean I wore something that said, "Take me seriously as a marketing professional who totally has her life together and does not make naked mistakes." Nathan's office has a glass wall that faces the hallway. As I walked toward it, I could feel my own pulse in my ears. He stood up when I came in, like some kind of polite vampire. "Hey, come on in. Close the door behind you." Not ominous at all. I sat. He sat. I waited. He smiled, faintly. "I just want to reiterate that last week's incident hasn't affected my opinion of your work. At all. In fact, it actually highlighted something." "Oh? You've been flying under the radar. Your reports are solid, your metrics are consistent, but I think you're capable of more." I nodded, because what else do you do when your boss low-key implies your accidental nudity was a catalyst for a career boost? We talked about projects, leadership tracks, presenting at the upcoming all-hands. It was shockingly normal. Productive, even. Then, just as I was about to stand up and exhale forever. "One more thing." God. The words every traumatized person dreads. I'm not going to pretend we didn't share an unusual moment. But for what it's worth, I think you handled it with grace. I blinked. He continued. "You're human. It was a mistake. It happens. I appreciate that you didn't try to overcompensate or make excuses. That tells me a lot more about you than a slip-up ever could." And then, he smiled. Not a grin. Not a smirk. A soft, gentle, maybe even warm smile. Reader, I malfunctioned. Because I swear to you, the temperature in that room changed. Or maybe it was me. But suddenly, everything felt different. I left the office floating somewhere between relief and emotional cardiac arrest. Texted Jess in all caps. She responded with about 40 eggplant emojis and one, "You're going to jail, bestie." But here's the thing. The next few weeks, the meetings kept happening. And each time, things got a little weirder. Not in a bad way. But in a way that felt like he was learning me. The questions got more personal. Not creepy, just human. He asked about what made me want to go into marketing. What parts of my job I actually liked. If I ever thought about moving into strategy. If I wanted to lead a team someday. Once, during a meeting, he asked, "If you could build your dream project from scratch, no constraints, what would it be?" Who even asks that? I ended up talking for 20 minutes straight. He just watched me like I was giving a TED talk about my soul. Then, last Thursday, and this is where the plot thickens like old jam, he asked me to stay after a team sync. Everyone filed out, and he casually said, "I was thinking, maybe we could move next week's one-on-one to off-site. There's a coffee place I really like, quieter than the office." Off-site. Now, this could be totally innocent. Managers take people for coffee all the time. But let me remind you, I have seen this man's wrists. He rolls his sleeves and it should be illegal. I've spent weeks trying to figure out if this man is quietly unhinged or just composed in a way that drives my lizard brain wild. So I said yes. Obviously. Because this is me, and I make decisions with my hormones. The coffee is tomorrow. I've picked out 3 outfits and texted Jess every single one. She responded. Do not wear the blazer. It screams, I want to talk about pensions. She's not wrong. So yeah. That's where we are. I sent my boss a nude. He responded with professional development and artisan espresso. I'll report back after the coffee. Assuming I survive. Part 3 will include the coffee. Spoiler, it's not just about coffee. To be continued. Title, I accidentally sent my boss a spicy photo instead of my weekly report. Now he wants a one-on-one meeting. Part 3/3. Catch up on Part 1 and Part 2 if you're confused. Or just want the full descent into chaos. Alright. Buckle in. Because I'm about to tell you how my accidental nude led to an off-site coffee that turned into the most confusing, awkward, electric hour of my adult life. It's Friday. I don't even pretend to get work done that morning. I change my outfit 3 times. End up going with a slightly too fitted black turtleneck and jeans, professional but not too professional, you know? Nathan messages. Still good for noon? Café Bettern, corner of 5th. I head there 10 minutes early like a damn eager beaver. Café Bettern is one of those hip, minimalist, cement and wood places with pour-over coffee and light jazz. He's already there when I arrive. Stands up when he sees me. Nathan in a button-down and no tie is a weapon of mass distraction. We sit. We small talk. It's weirdly easy. He asks me about a campaign I helped fix last quarter. He remembers details. We talk about leadership paths, trends in marketing, even the dumb startup culture shift post-COVID. Then, halfway through his second espresso, he sets his cup down. Can I ask you something that's not about work? Here we go. That photo, I know it wasn't meant for me. But after our last few conversations, I've started wondering if there's more here. Between us. Professionally, you're sharp. But personally, I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy you. Silence. My brain is simultaneously doing backflips and screaming into a pillow. I manage. Are you saying this as my boss? Or? He nods, slowly. That's the thing. I don't want to blur lines unless it's something you'd also want. I'd never want you to feel pressured. I'm just being honest. God. Okay. At this point I'm 80% mortified, 20% floating. Because the truth? I do like him. I've been trying not to. I've been rationalizing every meeting, every compliment, every micro-smile like it was just in my head. But it wasn't. I take a sip of my coffee. My hand shakes a little. I didn't send that photo on purpose. But I haven't exactly regretted the fallout. His smile? Slow. Controlled. Devastating. So where do we go from here? We agree to keep it slow. Discreet. Keep it professional in the office. We're adults. But we are curious about seeing where this goes. Neither of us is married. There's no power abuse happening. Just 2 people, in a very weird situation, choosing honesty. And that honesty led to a second coffee. Then dinner. Then a Sunday walk where his hand brushed mine and I thought I might actually combust. We're not together, not yet. But we're something. And it all started with a misattached file. But wait, before you think this is the tidy rom-com ending, let me give you a glimpse of how weirdly hard it is to navigate almost dating your boss. Case in point, Monday morning, I walk into the office and Nathan's in the break room. Just us. He's making coffee. I reach for a mug. Our hands touch. Eye contact. I panic and say, "So how about those Q3 projections?" He laughs. Like, full-body laughs. Which somehow makes it worse and better. We agree to avoid being weird at work, but easier said than done when your last conversation was low-key romantic and your brain now inserts fanfic narration into every interaction. She passed him the quarterly metrics, but all he saw were her eyes. Anyway. That week, we go back to being normal-ish. But there are cracks. The way he pauses when I speak in meetings. The occasional shoulder brush in the hallway. At one point, I say something snarky during a brainstorm and he straight up chuckles. Not fake boss laugh. Real laugh. It is confusing. Also, Jess is now fully unhinged about it. Jess, you're living in a Wattpad AU. Do you even hear yourself? It's not like that. Jess, you wore lipstick to a budget meeting. Touché. Then comes Thursday. I get an invite to a small leadership dinner hosted by the company VP. Not everyone's invited. It's kind of a big deal. Nathan casually drops by my desk. I recommended you for the VP dinner. Thought you'd enjoy it. I blink. Wow. Thanks. That's unexpected. He shrugs. You've earned it. Is this still about the photo? Is this genuine professional support? Is this flirting in the form of career progression? My brain is a tangled mess. The dinner itself is fine. Stuffy. Wine-filled. I make conversation. Hold my own. I'm proud of that. But after, as I'm heading out, my phone buzzes. It's Nathan. You did great tonight. Proud of you. I stare at the message like it's a handwritten love letter from 1812. I reply. Thanks. That means a lot. Pause. He writes. Want to grab a nightcap? Reader, I went. It was just one drink. But it wasn't just one drink. We talked about everything. His past job. My insecurities. He told me he didn't expect this either, this connection. That it surprised him. That he kept replaying our first one-on-one in his head. At one point, I confessed. I honestly thought I'd be fired. He looked at me. Gently. You really don't see how capable you are, do you? That's why I couldn't ignore it. Even before the photo. Before the photo. I didn't know whether to cry or kiss him. I didn't do either. Not yet. But he walked me home. We stood outside my door, saying nothing, both clearly thinking something. Good night, he said. His voice low. Deliberate. Good night, I whispered. Our hands brushed. His fingers lingered. Then he left. And now I'm lying in bed, typing this, heart doing gymnastics. I don't know what this is yet. But I know it's real. It started as a total disaster. An actual, mortifying, career-threatening mess. But somehow, it turned into something that feels like the beginning of a story I didn't expect to tell. So that's it. I accidentally sent my boss a nude. Got mentorship. Got a maybe relationship. Got clarity on who I am and what I want. Got a weird new sense of confidence. Would I recommend this path? LOL, absolutely not. But did it change my life? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Thanks for riding this roller coaster with me, Reddit. Maybe I'll post an update in a few months. Assuming HR hasn't tackled me by then.